Hey y'all, it's Don and I'm back for another video. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and my last video on DSW programs versus PhD programs hit over 1,000 views within a month, which is really high for me. So that let me know that you all are interested in this content. So I wanted to keep going with creating this content. Today's video is going to be about things to consider when selecting a DSW program, because there are so many programs popping up out of nowhere. There's at least 15 with more being created, and there's a variety, and I think that we should have a conversation about that, just in terms of what that means, its value, and how we can overcome any of those challenges. So the first thing that you should consider when looking up DSW programs or applying to DSW programs would be the curriculum. You want to see what type of classes are being offered. For me, with this being the highest degree in social work that you can get, I really want to see something that differs from the MSW level. I do not want to see something that I've already taken on the master's level being offered on the doctoral level. That's just my personal opinion, but I think it's one that makes sense. I want to be learning something new. So some things that I really like that I see that I would say you should consider making sure that you're receiving in a DSW program would be courses like social work education. That's not something you're going to get on the MSW level. Even if you don't want to teach, having that foundation would be great for if you want to apply for adjunct faculty positions, or if you maybe want to teach once you're retired or later down the line. Another course would be social work clinical supervision and leadership. I think that is another important course. There are some continuing education units that you can receive in this, but that's not as in-depth as an entire semester, an entire 16 weeks of education surrounding providing supervision to employees, providing supervision to those seeking their clinical license. Those are things that's an additional skill set that is so crucial, that's so marketable, that I think would really behoove you if you choose that path. The next type of course would be advanced research methods. I want to see an opportunity for me to take some research courses and really walk away being prepared to do independent applied research or community-based research. I understand that research on the DSW level may be a little bit different than research on the PhD level, but they're both still valuable research, and they're both still impactful and can lead to change. So again, if I'm taking research, we've taken research methods in graduate school and undergrad, but I want research that's going to, again, allow me to apply for publication. That's the type of papers I should be writing in those courses. I shouldn't be writing papers that I'm never going to use again. So for me, as I reviewed programs, I am looking at programs that's allowing me to, again, be able to select a topic, be able to select a question that I want to answer, conduct the research, and then apply for publication. And there are programs where some of those allow you to do that and some of those do not. So you want to be intentional about, am I writing papers for fun, or am I really gaining a skill set out of this course? And for me, I need to be gaining a skill set where I am able to write for publication, whether I go on to pursue an academic career or not. I don't want this video to get too long, so a few other ones that I would consider would be trauma, neurobiology or neuroscience, race and social justice, advanced treatment modalities, administration, leadership, budgeting and finance, as well as grant writing. So the next thing is going to be focus. I want to really see what concentrations are programs offering. I want to know the chance I have for specialization. Some programs offer advanced clinical, some programs offer leadership and administration, some offer military science, some offer trauma. You know, there's one, I think Barry University, I'm getting into like future videos now, but I think Barry University's DSW program specializes in trauma. So if everyone who graduates from that program, you will be specialized in trauma as well as research. So that was really important to me. So, but then there's other programs like, I think maybe St. Thomas or something like that, University of St. Thomas, something like that. They specialize in social work education. This focus is to prepare doctorally prepared social work educators and administrators. The third one, which I think is a really important one, is the length of time. I'm seeing a lot of programs and these are some of the newer ones, that's saying you can graduate in less than 2 years. Another one where it's a 2-year doctoral program. And let me be very clear, this is no shade to anyone, because to obtain a doctorate is no easy feat, and my hat goes off to anyone who is admitted into a doctoral program and who graduates from a doctoral program, because that is not easy. There's so much blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice that goes into that, one that I have yet to experience as someone who's been rejected from doctoral programs 2 cycles in a row. So I come from no high horse. Nonetheless, I do not want to be called a doctor for the sake of being called a doctor. I do not want to be admitted into anyone's doctoral program just to say that I have a doctorate. That does me no good if the doctorate means nothing, and if the program is not valued by not just peers, but employers, whoever that may be. And more importantly, if it does not allow me to achieve the goal that I want to achieve. If I can't do that, then why do I have this doctorate? It doesn't make sense. So I say that to say that, there are some programs that, saying you can graduate in 2 years or you can graduate in 1.5 years. And I'd be wary of those programs. I'd caution you. And there's one program that I really enjoy, and I have a friend who's admitted to that program, so no shade at all. I'd want to look deeper into what is this program offering me? What am I walking away with having completed this program? And I will interview someone from 2-year DSW program so we can see if it really is possible to gain meaningful experience and to gain adequate skills necessary to be a doctorally prepared social worker and to be equipped to achieve whatever goals that they may have. Next one for me, the fourth thing, is going to be whether or not they are pursuing the CSWE accreditation for DSW programs. No doctoral programs are CSWE accredited at this time, but they recognize that was a money-making opportunity. That is shade, but they are now offering that opportunity for doctoral programs. I'm not sure about PhDs, but I know for DSW, since it's more of a clinical focus. So with DSW degrees, I do want to see, okay, are they pursuing this? And I want to look at the standards according to CSWE and then compare that to the programs to see, are they pursuing it? And are they even exceeding those standards? Are they meeting them, and are they exceeding them? Okay, we are almost done. The last two. One is going to be, of course, the cost of tuition and the fees associated. That is so important to, there are so many people who don't even think you should pay for a doctorate degree. I have evolved in my thinking because I think if, it allows you to stay at home or to stay at work while you pursue the degree, and you're not losing money, because that's the thing people don't discuss a lot. Your PhD, you may get funding, but if it's not covered throughout your entire education, you could end up having to pay out of pocket. But then also the living expenses, because the wages that a GA gets are really not, they're subpar, and they're really not livable wages. And then you can potentially get external funding, but those are so competitive. Maybe two per cohort are obtaining those type of fundings, those type of external funding. So I'd say look at the cost and look at the scholarships offered, look at your employer's ability and willingness to support you, and just weigh the pros and cons. I'm going to reference UPenn a lot because I was transparent and sharing my experience in applying, and that's a school that's still at the top of my list. I guess I'm announcing it here, but maybe I'll do a separate video. I'm not applying to doctoral programs this cycle. I've made that decision. I feel at peace with it, but it still is a program that I hold to high regard, UPenn, but it's also $70K. So it's an expense that you just really have to make sure that you're certain about. And then the last one is going to be alumni. I think it's so important to look at who's graduating from the program, what are they going off to do. I've spoken to over 20 DSW alum from UPenn's program. That's why I have such high regard for it, because I've spoken with these people. I've seen where the degree can take them. I've seen the research that it produced. I've seen people go where I want to go. I've seen people do things that I had not even thought of. So for me, I am seeing the validity and the value of the degree. And I'd encourage you to do the same. I'd encourage you, if it's a new program, you may want to wait a cohort or two to see, who is matriculating into the program, and then reaching out to people to ask them their experience, because alumni and current students or alumnus, they can tell you the things that an admissions officer will never tell you. A director of a program will never tell you. So I think that's it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share with your colleagues, because this is something that's under discussed in social work, and I want to remove the taboo of discussing DSW degrees. Turn on the notification bell so you can be notified of more videos like this. Like I said, I have a DSW series coming up where I am speaking with people from DSW programs, where they share their experience and they discuss the value of their degree. Thanks so much for watching, and until I see you next time, be you, be great. Hey, I was editing and I wanted to come back to just add a final tidbit for what I'd look for in a program, and that is what the final production of the culmination of the program is going to be. So that could be a dissertation, or more commonly known as a capstone. So I want to know, what will I walk away? What is going to be the tangible piece of completing a capstone? What's going to be the tangible piece of completing a dissertation? Do I have other options? Like, can I produce a book? Can I produce a manuscript, or a workbook, or a product, or a new service, a new treatment modality? So those were just some tidbits that I wanted to add in addition to everything mentioned here. So Thanks so much for watching, and until I see you next time, be you, be great.